I'm Stephen Weinmann, and this is FSM RX'd.
Cool. Hey guys, I'm back here with Stephen Weinmann from PTI, and we're going into, obviously we talked about CrossFit, PTI's kind of how it came about, Stephen's background and how he programs for his clients. And so when we were finishing the last show, we were kind of starting to touch on weightlifting, and Stephen you were the first
we were the first Catalyst Athletics Irish affiliate,
yeah, Irish affiliate. And for anyone who doesn't know Catalyst, it's Greg Everett. Catalyst have been going for years. They've associated themselves with some really good lifters. Greg and Amy are like amazing coaches. You've met them. I haven't yet. Will happen. But then you became the affiliate, and now there's a Catalyst League. It's Catalyst Cup, is it?
The Shield.
The Shield.
Yeah.
And there's 4 Catalysts now in the country.
Yeah, so there's 4. So it was ourselves, then it was Scott and Lorna with CrossFit West Dublin, then Dara with CrossFit 15, and then Neil Laverty's crew in CrossFit 80/20.
Yeah.
So we had the third meet, December last month, out in Dara's place in Mulhuddart, and went great. The first one was in Scott and Lorna's, and the second one was in ours, and the third one was in Dara's, and then the next one is May next year, and that's going to be up in 80/20. Up in their
and that's going to
mega
be
box.
Huge, the mega box.
Yeah. It's a solid spot. But yeah, that all came about just, like I said, on that trip to California at that time with John. Ever since that, I was following Catalyst before we even went there, and that was in their previous gym. And when we arrived in, they were a big influence on me as well, just in terms of how the place was set up. It was clean and sharp lines, and everything had its place. It was just a great gym. And I've been following their programming loads of times. I got some programming off Steve Pan from there for a while. And they've always just had a big influence. So when they said they were doing the Catalyst seminar in Manchester, I jumped at it, and Dara said he'd go as well, and sure enough we met Scott and Lorna at it, and Jay and Cian
from CSP.
From CSP, yeah. So there was 6 of us there, and it was a great seminar. Greg, Steve, Cara, and Mark Beck from Manchester Strength and Conditioning ran it. It was brilliant. And then got talking to Greg and just said, look, I think I'd like to affiliate the gym and start just be associated with it. And because I feel like they've given me so much over the years, in terms of information and good advice and program. I said, look, I'd like to be associated with them, and Greg was keen. So we went with the affiliation application, got it in, and then once Scott and Lorna did it, we said, look, we should capitalise on this and start actually putting together a sort of a less formal meet where we can encourage our members to come together and get used to competing if they're still a bit nervous to go further down the line to something like Lancers or Club Champs or whatever. So they were keen as well. Scott put forward the idea of the Shield and that which was great, and he got that sponsored for us. And then Dara came along in the second one, and first meet went great. We did one kind of scoring system that we felt was just a little bit uneven for certain people. Then the second meet in ours, we changed the scoring system again. So we won the first one, CrossFit West Dublin won the second one, and then the third one out in Dara's, we changed the scoring system again it was based off all the lifters won games. So how you performed against your own records on the day, and it worked great. CrossFit 80/20 lifted brilliant, and they took in the end, and it was brilliant day and music playing and a bit of a buzz. So it's great crack, yeah.
And it's good because, like, again, off camera, we had this amazing conversation that we're trying to repeat and regurgitate right now. But like with Weightlifting Ireland, and like you're a weightlifting coach, you're
in the process of completing all their activities now. Yeah.
And I know one of the questions that when I was at my last weightlifting, when I was renewing my weightlifting license, it was like, let's be honest, weightlifting competitions can be like going to mass, and a lot of people kind of are a little bit tired, and you have to shush, and it is like you to see some really great lifters lift. It's amazing and it's great, but
I think a lot of people do find it a little intimidating to start out.
Yeah, and they need that little bit, like, you just need to be relaxed when you go into it, and that's why you have your thing, and then we're going, like, obviously we've got heavy metal, tickets are sold out, because this isn't going until February, or till the end of January. Tickets are sold. I'll be like, no.
No, it is.
But yeah, so you need to kind of make, because we've got, like yourself, you've got a lot of guys that are kind of, I want to do Olympic lifting, I really like Olympic lifting. But the thoughts of going to a major, a Leinster's or an Open, where you're going up against some really kind of very intense, like guys that are like kind of pretty much full-time amateur athletes, and they're intense, and you want a bit of banter, and kind of make it like a CrossFit event where it's you go, it's loud, it's noisy, there's food.
It's just more inviting and more of a community buzz.
And you have fun, and so like you have created that with the Catalyst, the Catalyst Shield. And obviously, as more people grow and become Catalyst affiliates, that will grow. And I think, like, personally, like, Weightlifting Ireland kind of need to kind of get on this and support this, and not be like, well, you're this, you're not what we want. Like, if you're going to be tunnel vision in lifting, and the way the lifting federation should work, then you're going to start isolating so much of potential community. That Weightlifting Ireland, I know, because from talking with Colin and Neil Duggan, you're going to see that as it grows, and you just can't have that. So I think, like, for you, like, you've seen that with Catalyst and stuff. So how do you find that when it?
I mean, Greg's been really supportive. I mean, I've contacted him a lot and said, look, you know, we're looking to well, for them it's obviously. It's win-win, because we just talk about their brand, we put it up, and we say, look, we are the Irish Catalyst Athletics Affiliates Shield or organisation, but what we're trying to push, as you say, is that we're trying to make it a much more inviting environment where people get to like dip their like toe in the water, and get used to a weightlifting meet. I mean, we've like judges there. We the guys from Refugees, Steve, Sarah, and Carla judging on the day. So it was all, you know, it was to a certain standard, but you know, we weren't letting people away with poor lifts or press sets and stuff. Like it was legit too, as far as we could bring it. But you know, it was like remember, was it years ago? Weightlifting, US weightlifting did that cross USA meet. I mean, something like that. They've only revisited that once with the previous thing. What was the lift off? So I mean, for me, I'm like, why hasn't that been repeated again? Because weightlifting has benefited massively from. And if you even
like, and I know you
hasn't been capitalised.
Yeah, you have worked with like you worked with Mike Bergner and stuff like that, and he even said it, because when they did when CrossFit did the thing on Mike Bergner and the rocking chair, the little series they did with him, and he said that was probably one of the biggest weightlifting events in the history of America. Because CrossFitters from every
got behind it,
behind it, and I think weightlifting in Ireland need to do that, because even when I spoke to Don McCauley, he was saying, like, he's good friends with Mike Berger, and he said you need to start working with these CrossFit guys, because it's a resurgence of weightlifting. Weightlifting's going to grow, and you know, like, Weightlifting Ireland has weightlifters in Ireland has grown massively since 2010.
Huge,
90% down to the CrossFit community. And you can't say different.
I mean, it's the same in the States now. When I spoke to Greg Everett about it, he was saying you could say that that weightlifting has benefited huge, but also they're now like they have to raise the qualifying numbers. Yeah. They have to cap the event. Like they've got 4 or 5 platforms going at one time now. It's huge, and there's now people complaining about it, going, oh, it's getting out of hand and there's too much going on, but weightlifting in most countries is struggling.
Yeah.
And it's because it hasn't been pushed forward with the times and people. I mean, like look at the Filthy 150. Like the crowds at that.
Yeah.
Like can you imagine recreating that kind of atmosphere
for a lifting event?
For a lifting event, and getting people really going, this is a cool sport.
And that's why you have to kind of. You can have the top tier like Leinsters, and where you have to be respectful, and there is a kind of an old school kind of feel to weightlifting when you go on, and like I think like the lovely ladies parade where everyone has to get up and get announced and all this stuff, and it's a bit of banter and it's a bit of crack sometimes, but like there's things that like obviously we know there's certain rules and regulations in weightlifting and you have to follow them, but that doesn't mean that in Ireland we can't still have like the Catalyst Shield, or heavy metal, or other events that are literally come down, perform the classical lifts. We're gonna throw some money in it. We're gonna like we're doing a prize like a €500 prize, and Alan Fitzpatrick, why are you giving away €500 for such a small thing? I said, because next year it's going to be $1,000, and the year after it's going to be $2,000, and then if it keeps growing, it's going to be more and more money.
Just
and then you get and what do you want to do? Do you want to go sit in a room and be told to shush and have to wait 10 hours, or do you want to go lift with a great atmosphere, do the sport you love to do, and make a bit of money? And you have potential to make money. Now, it's not about making money, but obviously that helps everything.
Yeah.
But it's making it fun, and as you said, it's dipping the toe in the water for a lot of your guys that are on the fence. And I know there's been people that have gone to their first lifting competition and gone, I'm not going to lift anymore, because they had a bad experience. It was very dry. There was no atmosphere. You're kind of isolated yourself. It's just you and your coach.
Yeah.
That's if your coach is registered and allowed in the room.
Yeah, no, it's keeping it that little more attractive, that little more appealing. People go and compete at CrossFit events at the start because to a certain extent they can hide a little bit at it.
Yeah.
Like it's busy, it's bustling, it's going on, there's music playing, everyone's roaring and shouting. But that same person, if you go, I want you to stand up on a platform in front of a whole group of people, and 3 judges and a scoreboard and stuff, like that's terrifying. But then on the other side you have someone like John North and them who set up the American Weightlifting Federation. And they've gone to try and do that, where they've music blaring and everybody picks their song that they're going to lift it.
Yeah.
Which is, it's pretty cool as well, but it's making it appealing. Now it's not going to be USAW sanctioned, and it's their own thing now. But that's similar to what we want to do, is that we want to make it that we could turn to a member who's lifting for 6 months to a year, and they finally have a bit of confidence and go, look, this is a team meet. You're going to be on this team of 15 people against that team, this team, we're all going to have the crack, and you can be just as important as so-and-so over here and our most experienced lifter. Even if he lifts pretty well, you could PR on the day and be our most important person. Yeah. So, it makes it so much more appealing. People were so much more relaxed, going, wow, this sounds brilliant, like I'm in.
And I think that it's huge. When people say, "Oh, you can't change what's," that's the thing. Like, if you're in the bubble, and you're happy being in the bubble, that's great. But when you think of like, right, if I'm standing here, it's like, what can I do? And I've been asked a few times by different weightlifting coaches in Weightlifting Ireland, what would you change if you could change something? And I said, just shake off the cobwebs, switch it up a little bit, like create mini events around the country. That it's right,
like the Leinster League.
Yeah, like the Leinster League. And then I think the guys were doing it down in Cork a little bit. They had one down there.
There was the Munster League, wasn't there?
And that was great. But like leagues like that, which there used to be leagues in Ireland for weightlifting. There was in the 50s.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I was told by an old weightlifter that there was, so I'm taking him on his word. It doesn't seem like he's lied to me. But when you have stuff like that, or even like the max clean and jerk day, it's a competition held by one gym. What are you going to do? It's clean and jerk. What about snatch? Don't even like it. Clean and jerk. Come down. We're going to see who's the best clean and jerk in the country.
Bring everyone here,
And like, because there's guys that can nail the clean and jerk, but just they struggle on snatch.
So or vice versa.
But if Weightlifting Ireland accept this and let everyone, like, kind of allow people to come into the community rather than trying to isolate, because if you don't support and you isolate, you're going to create there's going to be a new federation, and it's like powerlifting. Like how many federations is there in powerlifting? Boxing, kickboxing. There's like everyone's a world champion in kickboxing. Nothing against kickboxers, but like I know so many people that are world champions, but they're world champions for different federations and they don't recognize each other.
Different belts and so on.
And if we're able to create this before it happens and allow something good to come in to weightlifting in Ireland, then it's gonna make things so much better for us, and then the sport will grow. Then maybe, just maybe, we'll have an Olympic team, we'll have an international squad, we'll have like squads that can actually go away to the Worlds and be held up there as a top team. Obviously the ones that don't take steroids. But I think that's a good thing for weightlifting, and I think what Catalyst and you were doing with Catalyst in Ireland and the other guys like Darren Scott and the guys at 820 is that's like a team event. You've got 15 guys, and you said like Sai and stuff like that, guys that are getting to be on a team and their performance is benefiting the team, and their performance could be the best.
Yeah, I mean everybody
rather than the biggest lifters. Oh well, we're going to obviously
just the like heavy and the like heaviest lifter, most experienced lifter going. Well, I'm obviously the most important, but when it comes down to it, everybody from our squad on the day was just as important as each other. So everybody counted,
Everything's inclusive rather than like the guy lifting the little weight and it's like
he's just taking part.
So you want that. It's the community feel, and I think that's one thing that's kind of slightly missing. I think it's getting better. But it really needs a kick in the arse from my opinion.
I'd give serious credit to Steve Hyland as well from Refugees for the Leinster League idea. That was brilliant as well. We had a few matches against we had a match against CSP, we had matched against Refugees, we had matched against Refugees again out in Dara's. They were great days as well, and that was all real short, snappy stuff. It was good. Evan warm up, and then Steve he said, right, Evan starting for first lifts, and we go. And that was a different scoring system again, but it worked out really well. That was really good.
And again, there's stuff like that, and it's just, but it should all be encompassed in
a calendar.
A calendar rather than just like, well, this is what we're doing, because we're like I just take it like I love weightlifting. It's my gig. It's my jam. I love training it. I love coaching it. But it's kind of like you're getting roadblocked every now and again when you try and do something. And I know Weightlifting Ireland, they're making a lot of changes, and all from what they're telling us sounds great. And I hope it all goes well, all comes true. But in 5 years, if we have 500, 600, 800, 1,000 athletes registered with Weightlifting Ireland.
Much bigger
that's huge. That's huge. And then we're going to get guys going, well, I don't want to play football. I don't want to play rugby. I want to be an Olympic lifter.
That's the sort of big thing as well. I mean, CrossFit is making inroads. I mean, with say there is 121 affiliates on the island of Ireland, and say there's an average of 100 people per gym. Now, not all of them want to compete, obviously, but if there is, like, you're talking like 120, like 12 to 15,000 CrossFitters, and if a percentage of them want to move to pure weightlifting, and they're encouraged to compete and have good support and stuff, it could be fantastic,
And it's like as you said, with the likes of the Filthy 150, there's a beginners end. There's, and it's fun and it's energetic and it's thing. But like, if you're new, it just needs a little bit more youth, a little bit more kind of banter. And I personally believe, and I spoke this with Don McCauley, and he was the guy that gave me the idea for heavy metal a little bit. He goes, you need to put money for the bigger lifters. There needs to be a purse in competitions. There needs to be a medal and a trophy is all well and good, but for the big lifters, they have so many trophies and medals going home. As like, if there is like a couple of £100 or a grand for the best team, you're going to have people push that a little bit more. And I'm not talking about like kind of like, obviously the way you run the Catalyst Cup, it's Catalyst Shield is slightly different. But for the likes of the Leinsters and the likes of the bigger the national competitions, there needs to be, like, if there is, the guys will push more. And it becomes more professional sport, and then it gets bigger. To keep it amateur the whole time is slightly harder to get people. They're like, why am I training 3 hours a day? And
in this lovely frustrating sport.
Yeah, frustrating sport, and I get a medal and stuff. You have to really, really, really love the sport, and unfortunately, it's that you can't hang your hat on that for your whole career.
That's what it's always been in the States as well. About they're always losing lifters to American football or whatever, is because there's money, and they still get to lift and train and have fun, but there's money and it's a career. Whereas look at all these guys who Shankle and all these guys. I mean, it hasn't been a lucrative career for them. Like, they're still inspirational coaches and lifting that, and there's some seminars going on with all these guys. But really, if you turn around to guys like CJ Cummings, they really have to hold on to that guy. Like, he could be an Olympian and beyond, like a medalist potentially, but they need to make sure that someone else is coming along and trying to line his pockets.
Yeah, exactly. And like as you said, like Donny Shankle and like John Norton and all that, like they through seminars, but where's all their seminars take place? In CrossFits. Like they're doing well now. Like Mike Bergner and like Don McCauley. I remember saying like Don McCauley was saying, like, because he set up a CrossFit, it's the reason why he's now doing well. Because of the resurgence, and you've got like guys that are so good and so passionate and so energetic, and they're getting nothing other than they have to grind a whole other aspect of their life just to do what they love the most. And you kind of like you're losing sight of it's not about making money. You still have to live a life. Like if I go right, I could either do weightlifting full time, I coach it full time, I can go and just turn the whole gym into platforms and just do this is FSM barbell and that's all we do. And I'd love it and it'd be great, and I'd love to have something like that, and that's where our plan is going. To have a weightlifting section. But in doing so, I am cutting any chance of me being financially strong.
Exactly.
In this country, with what I am quite passionate about, teaching and coaching, and it's these weightlifting places being supported by boot camp, CrossFit, functional fitness classes, whatever you want to call it, TRX, whatever. But these things are always going to be more popular, and they're always going to help buoy these businesses that then have weightlifting coaches and weightlifting athletes, and they might have 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 if they're lucky. But you're just not going to get 150 weightlifting athletes coming to your door going, I'm a 9 to 5 Joe and I work in XYZ and I want to do weightlifting only, and every single one of them is going to walk in the door and say that. It's just not going to happen. So that's why, what we were talking about, saying like pure weightlifting area, and you have your functional fitness area, your CrossFit area. That's going to be the future for a lot of places. And especially I think current barbell clubs, we need to have to kind of look at expanding their kind of the programming into allowing for other things. And I know like Neil Duggan and what he does up there in Asylum, and he does stuff like that, and that works. And you have to kind of I just think like there is a great opportunity for weightlifting in Ireland to just soar. It just has to be done right, and there can't be any bullshit, and there can't be any he's doing this and he has that. Like, just I suppose it's like the CrossFit community as well. There's just a lot of kind of fake friends, and there's a bit of a shitty kind of it's who's who in CrossFit, and like we should all do this. Well, who are you to tell me that I'm to do? And it's kind of like, forget your ego for every now and again, and everyone, like, in all fairness, like if CrossFit was to do something and you didn't agree with it, you're still going to do PTI and CrossFit North Dublin, and there's things that CrossFit do, FSM won't agree with, and I'm still going to be FSM, and if I have to step away, then that's the journey, like, it's the process.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a good rant. Hope you all enjoyed it. So back to point at hand, we are coming to the end. Well, it is now, when you're watching this, it's 2016, but we're coming to the end of 2015. So for 2016 PTI, big plans?
At the moment, from a competitive point of view, on the calendar, we do a sort of PTI fittest in the house comp. We do that every summer, so that'll be more than likely June or July. May will be the next Catalyst Affiliate Shield meet. That'll be in 80-20, and then the next one of that will be next November, and I'm fairly sure that'll be back out in Scott and Lorna's, I think. So that's 3 things planned in terms of competitions. We usually look at one other thing as well, so we'll be prepping people more than likely for the 150 next year again, and possibly a few other comps when they pop up, like yourselves. And then another thing for us is looking at the possibility of expansion. So we're still sort of exploring the possibility, but after five years now, we're in a good building, good space, and nice and busy, and things are great. But there's always that urge for us to just expand a bit, and like I said, put in something like a dedicated weightlifting area within the functional fitness room, or a strength conditioning area within that. So so that's where my sort of thoughts are at the moment. But we haven't made any concrete plans for expansion yet. It's more something that I'm investigating and exploring at the moment. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. So to find out more with Stephen, if you kind of liked what he talks about on PTI and Catalyst, we're going to have a lot of links below. You can check them out. We'll put links to their social media, their Instagram, and you can check out Stephen. And again, if you're in North Dublin, the Concealy area, and you're a lifter, or you're drop in, are you?
Yes.
No, you're not. Shit.
Drop us a mail first.
Yeah. Let them know. Give them a heads up. But if you're a good lifter, it's a cool facility, cool coaches, and it's great. It'd be great to live out there. Not that I've been there. I think for the last 4 years I've always said, I almost call out. But yeah, so Steve, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, brilliant.
And
thank you.
We will see everyone again soon. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the show, head over to our YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, and you can get all the latest information from FSM, FSM RX'd, and our Q&A show, Coffee Topics. Follow us on Instagram, where you can find the daily goings on of all our members, coaches, and athletes, and see what we're getting up to. And head over to Facebook, FSM Bray. Give us a like and a share, leave a 5-star review, and you'll get all the latest information on our upcoming events and shows coming your way.